Doris Burke, JJ Redick called the game on ABC. They join us now from Dallas. Doris, get us started here. How would you best describe what happened in Game 4 tonight?
Just a different level of fight on the defensive end of the floor, Kevin, from the Dallas Mavericks. We talked through the first several games about the relentless attack, the drive and kick game of the Boston Celtics. Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum consistently getting to the paint and spraying the ball out. Just a different level of physicality and intention in working to handle those drives and contain the ball, and that to me was a huge part of it. And on the other side, Boston did not contain the ball. You saw many first straight-line drives by the Dallas Mavericks, in particular Luka and Kyrie. Big difference.
JJ, how did the Mavericks' activity on the glass impact the game?
Well, you saw it early. Derek Lively making efforts to keep the ball alive, second possessions. I just want to say this. That was a bad impersonation of the Boston Celtics. I don't know what that team was that we just watched. We have not seen that version of them all season long. You have to come with the correct mindset to win any game in the NBA. And, you know, whether it was just anxiousness about trying to close out a series, it was the Mavs that had the better mindset, the Mavs that didn't want to let go of the rope in this tug of war. You have to give the credit to the Dallas Mavericks, but I don't know what I just watched with the Boston Celtics.
As bad as it could possibly get in an opportunity to clinch this NBA Finals here. Doris, you rightly talked about the defensive effort, but Luka offensively, on a night he goes 0 for 8 from three-point range, he still dominated the game. How did he do it?
What do we call the great ones? So we always say they're going to respond. I don't believe for one single second what he told Lisa Salters, Kevin, that he didn't hear any of the criticism. He heard every single bit of it. And his level of engagement defensively, to me, changed it. But the other thing he did is we saw him play with more pace tonight than ever. And that comes in two different ways. It can come with a push-ahead pass, or it could come in cases where maybe they double-teamed the guy who got the rebound. He would sprint up the floor with the basketball in his hand. Pace was a huge part of what the Dallas Mavericks did all year long. They were 7th in that category, much different in the past. And Luka's just dynamic. Listen, he has every shot in the book. Finish left, finish right, finish oversized, through contact. He's got every shot.
He does have every shot, and I love that you brought up the pace, Doris, because for 2 days all we heard is the Dallas Mavericks, they want to play faster. This is coming off a Game 3 where they had the most isolations in any playoff game in the player tracking era. That's the last 10 NBA seasons. They slowed the pace down. You go against a set Boston Celtics defense, it's tough to score. That pace is going to become even more important in Game 5 in the TD Garden.
JJ, it's a 38-point Mavericks win, and so I guess it's easy for the Celtics to say, you know what, let's put this one behind us, let's move on to Game 5. That's easy to say. How easy is it to do?
Well, this is a group that has talked about staying in the moment. They've talked about the process. This is a group that understands. They are battle-tested. I would expect them to play like they've played all season. And I would also expect Dallas to play like they played tonight. And one thing that really stood out for me in our pregame meeting with Jay Kidd, he said, you know what? We're actually close. We're not that far off. This series is 3-0, but we're not that far off. And if you look at any of these games, in the first 3 games, I should say, there were certain moments where Boston was able to wrestle control away from Dallas. But they're right there, and they proved tonight they can definitely beat this team.
And Doris, obviously so much about the Mavericks' success is Luka Doncic, Kyrie Irving, but Dante Exum tonight, Derek Lively was unbelievable. P.J. Washington played a role. Daniel Gafford as well, the role players on Dallas. How sustainable is this moving forward to Game 5 and possibly beyond?
Well, I think the effort was the big key and the pace. And one guy you didn't mention who I thought was terrific and has been energetic and tough defensively is Josh Green. You saw Derek Jones Jr. make a corner three. You saw P.J. Washington make that above the break three. Maybe that kind of confidence from the open shots they got tonight, playing with that kind of pace, can carry over. It's more challenging for role players on the road. I thought in games 1 and games 2, you saw the lack of finals experience, but now you've been there, you've done that, you know what you're up against in Beantown. Can they respond a little bit better?
On a night we thought the Celtics had an opportunity to close it out, we may be rethinking the complexion of this series here. Doris Burke, JJ Redick, great insight, great work on the broadcast tonight. Thanks for the time.
NBA